If you wake up feeling tired most days, feel like you could crash by 2 p.m. and need caffeine just to feel human, then you are not alone. A 2022 study by the CDC found that over 20% of women in their 20s and 30s reported feeling tired or exhausted most days, and that's 11% for men in the same age group. I used to be one of those people until I started following these 5 evidence-based tips that I'm about to share with you guys today. But before we get into it, if you're new here, hi, my name is Tika, and I quit my corporate job last year to build a life on my own terms. This channel is a space for creators and entrepreneurs and anyone looking to level up and also build the life of their dreams. I share things on personal growth, content creation tips, and also my journey along the way. If that sounds like your jam, then do subscribe. The first thing is sunlight before screen light. I used to always just reach for my phone first thing in the morning as soon as I woke up, and I would start checking through my notifications, scrolling through social media. But what I didn't realize was actually how detrimental this was for my sleep-wake cycle. And the reason is because the blue light that your phone emits actually interferes with your body's circadian rhythm. The other bad thing is that it puts your brain into overstimulation and stress mode first thing in the morning. Because when you check your notifications and you see certain things like work emails and messages from other people, it puts your brain into an alerted, activated mode. And this can be really stressful for your nervous system. So after a while of doing this every single day, it will start to affect your mood and also lead to increased fatigue. So instead of reaching for my phone, the first thing that I do is just get out of bed and start opening the blinds to get that natural sunlight. The best thing that they say to do is to just go for like a 5 to 10 minute walk outside in natural sunlight without sunglasses on, and that will give you the most benefit. Or if you're really just pressed for time, then just open the blinds or go out onto the balcony and get that natural sunlight in. The second thing is to hydrate yourself properly. A 2012 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that even mild dehydration, as little as 1 to 2%, can actually cause a decrease in energy levels and also impaired focus in young, healthy individuals. So if you feel like you find it really hard to focus and you feel pretty fatigued throughout the day, then it probably just means that you haven't had enough water. And to be honest, sometimes we just completely forget. And so what I like to do is something that I call the 3-glass rule. And every single time I sit down for a meal, which is 3 times a day, I will just drink a glass of water before eating, drink 1 glass during my meal, and then 1 glass straight after finishing. And that helps me to make sure that I at least get 9 glasses of water in every day. The other thing that I found it really helps with is just regulating my appetite. And so I don't end up overeating and I don't end up like snacking throughout the day, because a lot of the time when you do feel hungry or you feel like you just want to like munch on things, it's usually because you're just thirsty. The next thing is to move your body. It might seem really counterintuitive, but moving your body more will actually make you less tired and less fatigued in the long run. Regular exercise and physical activity are scientifically proven to reduce fatigue and increase energy levels, even in people who are chronically tired. Aside from working out a few times a week, if you find yourself feeling tired and you can't really focus during the workday, then just stop what you're doing, get up and go for a walk. Studies have shown that you don't even need to walk for that long to reap the benefits. Just a 10-minute walking session can actually improve your mood and boost your energy levels, and it'll help you to focus better, especially when done outdoors in natural sunlight. And this brings me to my next point, which is on not being sedentary. I think for most of us, we've normalized sitting at a desk for hours and hours, and then afterwards we'll sit in a car or a train. And after that, once we reach home, we'll sit on the couch or lie down in bed and just start scrolling and watching Netflix. But this is not normal, and it's actually really harmful. A 2021 study found that individuals who sat for more than 8 hours a day reported higher levels of mental and physical fatigue compared to those who sat less. And an easy way to combat this is just to break up your sitting time. And for me, like normally after about 30 minutes, I'll naturally want to get up and walk around. And to be fair, it's primarily due to boredom or lack of focus, but I usually feel a lot better after I do that. And if you're someone who can just like keep going at it for hours and hours without even realizing the time passing by, then what I would probably recommend is just setting a timer on your phone or setting alarms for when you should get up and walk around. The other thing I wanted to highlight is to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week. When I started going to the gym a couple years ago, I really saw a massive difference in my energy levels overall. Strength training and also doing a lot of cardio really helped me to stay energized. The final thing I wanted to mention is to stop eating like garbage as much as you can. In today's toxic food landscape, where most packaged foods will have things like preservatives and random E numbers and seed oils, gums, additives, it it can feel like this massive challenge to eat healthy. I remember when I started being mindful about what I was eating, going into a supermarket just felt like stepping into a minefield, and I felt like I had to really tiptoe carefully around like different foods to make sure that I wasn't going to be consuming a bunch of crap. Which is why I say to stop eating like garbage as much as you can, because unless you are super committed and dedicated to this healthy eating lifestyle, then it will be very difficult to never consume anything with no nasties in it. But anyways, back to why diet is super important. Foods high in refined sugars like your pastries, your donuts, your chocolate bars will cause a rapid spike in blood sugar followed by a sharp crash. And this often leads to feelings of sluggishness and having brain fog and feeling fatigue. Diets high in ultra-processed foods like chips, frozen meals, and fast foods are also associated with systemic inflation, which has been linked to chronic fatigue and reduced mental energy. So those are the 5 evidence-based tips that I follow to help me not feel tired every single day. I hope that these help you guys too. Okay guys, take care and see you in the next video.